Manners maketh man. Let me translate that for you.
Pedro Pascal has been around for a while. You may remember him from minor roles in television, like in Buffy or Law & Order. But even if you don't remember him then, you're probably more aware of who he is now.
This is the way.
The Chilean star has made its way to the top and has become the internet's ultimate daddy.
But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
The nickname came from Pascal's multiple roles as a father figure, like in The Mandalorian.
Oh. Okay, little guy. I'm happy to see you too.
And more recently, as Joel Miller in the video game adaptation The Last of Us. Pascal's process to become the traumatized smuggler, Joel, set on a mission to protect a young girl who was vital to mankind's survival, started almost as insanely as their character's journey. Today, we'll uncover how Pascal got the news about casting, defied HBO's orders, and struggled with something as contagious as the cordyceps brain infection on set. Not every day an actor gets the fantastic news he was cast to play a major role in an already established IP, and the expectation to learn, if he was chosen to join the HBO production of Last of Us, was such that Pedro Pascal needed help to get sleep the night before. So he took something to help calm him down, not knowing he would get a call from the producers that same night.
But I get a call and I get told that I got the job after I took the Ambien? I was excited, I guess, but I didn't remember. I woke up in the morning and the first thing that occurred to me was like, oh man, I really want that job. I'm in London, they're in LA, I'm gonna wait by the phone all day long. This hasn't happened in a while, you know? Think about it all day long. Yeah, it was like, oh, congratulations, so happy for you when I looked at my phone. And I was like, oh yeah, I got the job.
Pedro might have temporarily forgotten the news, but playing Joel Miller will be in his mind forever. The Last of Us wasn't the first time he worked on an HBO show. The actor might be too comfortable with the network, even to defy their orders. The Last of Us might be the biggest video game to TV adaptation of all time, but Pedro Pascal wasn't really familiar with the game before being cast to play its hero.
But I called my sister, who's got 2 teenage boys. I was on speakers when she answered. She was dropping them off at school. Well, there's this job offer or opportunity. It's based actually on a video game. Bruno and Pedro are my nephew's names, and they're like, what is it? And I was like, it's called The Last of Us! You better get that job!
Pedro didn't take long to realize how incredibly famous the game was, but before he started working with HBO, in a conversation with showrunner Craig Mazin, the actor admitted to never having played the game. This information came to the executive's relief, and he asked Pascal to keep it that way. The goal was not to have any cross-influences. However, Pedro couldn't hold back his curiosity. He went behind Mazin's back and asked the game developer to send him a PlayStation so he could explore the world with his nephews.
I needed to see what had been done, what had been there. I needed it to inform elements, to discover what I could bring to it, and also to meet what was on the page and what was already loved by the people that know the game.
The actual playing didn't go as well as Pascal expected. As it turned out, the actor's playing abilities were nowhere to be seen, leading his nephews to take away the console. Nevertheless, the experience of kind of watching his nephews play, helped the actor immerse himself in the world of The Last of Us, and source inspiration from Troy Baker, the actor who plays Joel in the video game. It's like finding a new way of researching a source material, but it is similar to that of having a book to look at, or an original portrayal. Pascal said at the Roundtable press event, I think that there's so much authorship in the source material of The Last of Us that it was essential to understanding how to approach it and how to play it. There are so many kinds of musical components and visual understanding of the tone that it's so specific and artful in the game. Luckily, breaking the rules didn't get Pascal in trouble with the show's executives, and it shouldn't, since the actor has been delivering his part with excellence, and a big part of working on screen is his partnership with his co-star, Bella Ramsey. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey play a father-daughter-like duo in The Last of Us. Although the two are not actually related in the story, the show is centered around their growing relationship while trying to keep each other safe in the apocalyptic setting. Great chemistry between the two actors was imperial to fulfill the fans' and creators' expectations.
Joel, did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
What?
Yeah. It runs in your genes.
In and another HBO show played an interesting part in building this on and off-screen friendship. Although Pascal and Ramsey never actually shared the set of Game of Thrones, with Pascal's character Oberyn leaving in Season 4, and Ramsey's Lyanna Mormont being introduced in Season 6, the two admit that having been part of the previous HBO hit helped pave the way to their bonding process. "I feel like it made us come from a family without knowing each other already," Pascal said of Thrones. "To have two characters that the fans liked make their entrance and make their exit is a parallel for both of us, and a kind of bonding thing before we even got the chance to bond. So yes, I am grateful for that." Their chemistry is easily felt when Pascal is Joel and Ramsey is Ellie on screen, but it's also recognizable in real life whenever the two actors are seen together. Craig Mazin, one of the show's showrunners, alongside Neil Druckmann, shared with Screen Rant how they felt about the two actors coming together. "I was directing that episode when they come together for the first time, and I just remember sitting back in my chair going, 'We're going to be okay.' They just had something, and the chemistry that they both have had on and off the set is remarkable." For Pedro Pascal, their relationship started with details before they got on set.
I feel like there was all of this kind of like little unspoken relationship developing even before we got to Canada.
Yeah,
Like little, like, we started following each other on Instagram and starting to kind of like, I don't know, I feel like sending little signals to one another kind of, shyly, but the excitement and the anticipation was obviously so clear.
Pascal and Ramsey became so close that sharing a laugh on set sort of got out of control. Even though they were surrounded by the darkest setting of bodies and monsters, the two would have constant attacks of the giggles that spread almost as much as the cordyceps brain infection that ravaged the world in the story. I start to think about what I hear being suppressed in Bella's throat. Like a fungal disease, the contagiousness of laughter was brutal. Unlike the brain disease, laughter is a good thing to get infected with, especially because humor is such an essential element of the relationship between Joel and Ellie.
Is there anything bad in here?
Just you.
Getting funnier.
Pedro Pascal has come a long way to become as famous and adored as he is today. A lot of his charisma comes from his laid-back, genuine demeanor when talking in interviews and with fans. His unique voice is what makes him so refreshing as an actor, and what makes Joel Miller so distinctive.
There were so many different resources that I was able to use to put everything together. There's a voice that's on the page that Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann wrote in these incredible episodes. You have a quality from the game. You've got a quality that Troy brought to Joel that is, I think, essential in the playing of the character. And then there was sort of what made sense to me and the way I heard it, and what sounded right.
The major success of the show's premiere and the audience's growth in each subsequent episode has guaranteed a season 2 of The Last of Us. HBO announced the series renewal in January 2023, and Pascal will be back as Joel, fighting for survival and winning our hearts in the process. Our question for you is, which Pedro Pascal won your heart? Let us know in the comments down below.
It's okay, baby girl.